There are still billions of dollars available for businesses through the Employee Retention Credit Federal Tax Credit Program. Stenson Tamadon has helped companies with less than 500 employees retrieve over $3.4 billion in tax credits through employee retention credits. Call Stenson Tamadon today at 866-934-8461 today to start your application. That's 866-934-8461 to apply. Call now.
Welcome to the AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today my guest is Jack Humbert. He is the Vice President of Development at Byrider. Welcome.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the show. Let's just get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the career path that led you to your current position at Byrider.
Yeah. So came out of college and worked 19 years with Wells Fargo, most of it in the automotive space. So there was a good relationship there when Wachovia bought Wells. Byrider called, and I met with Byrider and seen great growth opportunities with Byrider, and it fit well because over the 19 years with Wells, I ran sales teams, I ran collection teams, ran huge automotive portfolios in multiple states, and with Byrider, it was a really good fit. At Byrider, I work with individuals that want to join the system. They whether they're in automotive now or they want to get into that the automotive finance industry. So I work with individuals that want to join the system and all the way through their making sure it's the right fit, franchise agreement, and all the way to the opening of their dealerships. And I've been doing that for about 12 years now, and we've shown unprecedented growth, and it's been a fun change.
Cool. Well, tell me a little bit more about Byrider and what type of customer do you serve?
Yeah, so Byrider, boy, I think we hit 32 years this year of franchising. So we have about 135 dealerships, 30 states. And some of them are corporate owned, so we do prove what we can do by managing our own dealerships. Majority are franchised, if you think about the franchise industry, there's probably almost 6,000 different franchisors out there, and we're unique. We're the only one that has ever offered the buy here, pay here franchise model, and really what that means, Brian, is under the same roof, we integrate vehicle sales. So we sell the vehicle service, we recondition. We also warranty the vehicle after sale. But we are also, our franchisees carry the portfolio. So they handle the underwriting, the collection, the portfolio servicing part of the business as well, which is a piece that in automotive really can drive really good earnings. So it's all under the same roof, and we're the only one that does that. We serve a subprime segment of the consumer, and it's really been a fragmented, underserved segment, and we're able to go into markets and serve those communities that are looking to get maybe back on their feet, credit challenged, and we're able to provide that reliable and affordable transportation for them. So over that time, we've sold about 1.3 million cars, and we service about 1.4 billion in portfolio right now. So
wow.
So it's when I revert back to why did I come to Byrider, and it was that growth opportunity, and I think seeing how we've helped customers with to that degree, and both on selling the vehicle, but also on helping them what we call advance with their credit is very important to us, and to me, I always one of my biggest parts of what I do is make sure it's a good fit for you as maybe a franchisee, coming into the Byrider, but also on our end because we provide a lot of support and there's a very tight relationship built there.
Let's talk about the support. How do you help dealers?
Yeah, what's really unique. We have a very strong what we call franchise consultant team, and most of them have run dealerships. They have 15 plus years of experience. Mm-hmm. So it kind of starts there, and that's kind of who I turn it over to. Once you sign the franchise agreement, we start running with you, and we find the right location if you don't have one right now. And so our real estate department will assist with finding the right location. Our finance department will start right away, first week, with building a 5-year projection model with you. So there's a lot of support. We hit the ground running with you. But to name a few, you're going to have to hire people, right? So we have recruiting support. We have a whole team of recruiters that recruit for our corporate stores, but at any month they have 80 to 100 requisitions from our franchise dealerships that they need support on sourcing and hiring the right people in service sales and their finance department. So we can do that. Once we get them hired with you, we have a training department. Whether if it's online or they come to us face to face, we can assist with getting the individuals trained and support you there. We have compliance, legal, keeping you out of trouble, and marketing support. We have a full team that Byrider advertising group that will help you brand and market and achieve your volume goals in your dealership. Vendor partnerships, again, having 135 plus dealerships, we have a lot of buying power. So if you have one dealership, Brian, or you have 7 or 8, you're getting the buying power of the whole system, and so we can drive overhead down that way. A couple other things I don't like to forget is that networking. We with the number of dealerships and the owners that we have that have been in the system, some of them 25 plus years. We do a couple 20 group meetings a year, March and July, and they're really neat because they get our owners in a room and we just brainstorm and we're reviewing composites. But because we're all we have a proprietary DMS CRM, so we're all in the same system. So it's kind of an apples to apples comparison between dealerships. So it's a very tight network of dealers that if you need help, you want to send your service manager down the street to another dealer to get them trained up if you feel that might be the best thing to do. We just want to see everybody succeed. And so the 20 groups help there, or the annual convention we have every November, workshop, vendor driven. Just a good time to celebrate the successes in November as well. We just had in Miami actually last week. So cool. Hey, and then the last thing, one of the other things that I think, I talked about portfolio growth and the importance of providing affordable financing to the customer, and so within that DMS CRM that we call Discover is a risk management system. So a lot of times, a owner might come to us and they're very good at vehicle service and vehicle sales, and where maybe they're cautious is on, well, how do I grow a portfolio that's going to perform? And so we have a state-of-the-art risk management system that will basically through the underwriting process tell them who to approve, who to condition for approval, and unfortunately who to turn down when needed. So those are just some of the things that we do. It's kind of a dealership in a box, and that's kind of why we can put we can bring the automotive guy in and train him on the finance side, or we can bring the finance guy and train him on the automotive side. So we have the experts in place to help with that.
Cool. I didn't realize that you had a 20 group meeting twice a year. Like, what do most of the dealers, do most of your franchisees, come to that? And in your corporate stores, do you bring the on-site managers in, or how does that?
Yeah, it's very well attended every year, and so we have the March in Indianapolis where our corporate headquarters is, and every March, and then and July's 20 group will move around a little bit, and they get closer to our dealers. But yeah, very well attended. Our corporate store representatives attend as well. Again, because it's a good back and forth. If as an example, if our corporate stores are acquiring vehicles at X, or a certain segment of vehicles at X, and our franchise system is doing it, $300 less per car, we talk through that, or pay plans and things like that. So a lot of times I think of our corporate stores as a test kitchen, and so we will test a lot of things out in our corporate stores, including scorecarding on the underwriting piece, before we'll roll that next scorecard out to our franchise system. Basically, prove it works first, and that's a good or a nice part about owning corporate dealerships as well.
Cool. Well, let's talk about the future. What's coming? I mean, on the horizon, there's more changes coming to automotive than probably any time in either of our careers. Why do you think that used car sales, financing, and service is a really good investment right now?
Yeah, 12 years running development for Byrider, I've seen two things I think that really don't change. The consumer needs reliable transportation. They need to get to work and get their kids to activities and school and so forth. And so they need reliable transportation. I don't see that changing. And affordability is the other thing. So thus the finance part of our dealerships. And so I think Byrider, is a really good investment in a segment that is fragmented. It can be underserved in certain communities, and we've been able to provide that affordable, reliable transportation, over these 32 years, and I don't see that segment getting any smaller.
Yep. One of the things that's unique about Byriders is, in that type of dealership, you guys have a service department at all of your stores. What does a successful service department look like in one of your stores?
Yeah, great question. Coming out of banking, so the service department was one of the things that I enjoyed learning the most about. I think because, and it was, Byrider it was a good first 3 months when I was just in the field supporting dealers, learning the business before I took over development. And one of the things I learned about a service department is a successful one keeps the cars on the road. And if the car is on the road, the portfolio, the customer's happy, customer's making their car payments, and the owner's happy at that point because the portfolio is performing. So a good service department is going to keep the car on the road. And one of the unique things about a Byrider service department is on the reconditioning side of the business. Before we put the car out for sale, we're spending about 2 times the industry average to recondition the car. And we're trying to get that customer the best experience out of the gate. Yeah. So we will spend maybe a little more on reconditioning than anybody else will. Once we do sell the vehicle, we are warranting. We're offering vehicle service contracts on the vehicles, and I think the system averages about 36 warranty or VSC after sales. So our service departments, are reconditioning the cars. They're keeping the cars on the road after sale, and then some of our dealerships have capacity, so they will do some external work that aren't Byrider customers as well. So, but that's the key, is keeping the car on the road, keeping the customer happy.
Let's talk about the franchisees. Who should look at Byrider as an opportunity, and who's the ideal candidate for that?
Well, the auto industry is I think a great place to start. So, again, the automotive, the new car, used car industry, they already understand how to acquire, sell, and service vehicles. And but we do take, because of our training aspect and the technical pieces of the business that maybe you don't bring to the table when you join the system, we have the experts to assist there. So we can bring other backgrounds in outside of automotive. The key is, do you have the ability to manage a team?
Yeah.
And then it's really your drive and your drive to succeed, and the team that you hire's drive to succeed that's going to get you there. I mentioned that we do have a franchise consultant team that is going to be there as your coach and your support, and we have a great culture at Byrider of networking. So that's already there built for you, and it's one of the reasons I think you would franchise versus go alone.
Cool. Well, beyond the franchisee, you mentioned that you guys help them with recruiting. Where do you look? I mean, is a new car person a good is that the best candidate, or do you look to other industries?
Yeah. So when you join the franchise system, you can hire. It's up to you to make the final hiring decision. But we do. We've hired thousands of people over the years, right? And to run our corporate dealerships, but also run our help our franchise community. The automotive, having an automotive background does or can suit you for it, but I think it'd be short-sighted to say that's the only industry to look in. I think with when you look at a Byrider salesperson, I think they need to have empathy. They need to build a relationship, because remember, we're carrying a portfolio as well. So you're going to see that customer again. It's not sell the car, third-party finance it, and then hope you get them back some other time. You're going to see them coming back for oil changes. You're going to see them, coming back to make their payments at times. And so it's a relationship-driven business. So the skill sets may be a little bit different sometimes between, what you normally see maybe at a car dealership and what you see sometimes at a Byrider. But once we get them hired, obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to help you with the training as well. So we'll give you great feedback, even if we're not involved in the recruiting process and you do it on your own. We'll give you great feedback through the training process of how that individual,
if they're a good fit,
if they may be a good fit or not.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if somebody's interested in learning more about this opportunity and possibly, seeing if it's right for them, how can they learn more?
Yeah, I think one thing that you'll find when you deal with Byrider, deal with Jack at Byrider, is transparency. So I want to make sure it's a good fit. And so I'll put as much information as I can on our website about the franchise opportunity. So when you go to byriderfranchise.com, and you'll see investment, you'll see available territories, you'll see some testimonials, and you'll see my contact information. And I just really want to make it simple. Let's do a phone call, let's do a webinar, just face to face, or we can do a webinar and dig into the details, the support that Byrider offers, and see if it's a good fit. If we go from webinar and phone call and we say, hey, let's move forward a little bit, I do a discovery day to learn a little more in detail, ask questions at our corporate office in Indianapolis. I do it once a month, and we'll sit in the boardroom, and again, it's just a fire hose of information coming at you, but it gives you the opportunity to meet our executive team. Our executive team gets to meet you, and we'll huddle up later, to be honest with you, and say, hey, Brian's a good fit, or we got some questions. And because this is a long-term relationship, as you can imagine, when you join the Byrider system, and we want success for you. And then really I just work with you through the franchise agreement, and continue to answer questions and from that point on. So keep it simple, be transparent, and that's how I've found success bringing in new franchisees.
You'd mentioned available territories. How do you identify like the right market, and how many stores in that market? Like how do you determine where those territories should be?
Yeah. 10, 12 years ago, it was I had some software. It wasn't very robust, and you had to really map it out yourself and do a lot of research. And over time, we have partnered with a company called Buxton, so I have it at fingertips. a way to lay out a market. And basically what I do is I feed them our data tapes on a quarterly basis of who our customer is. And again, we have 1.4 billion of paper. We know the profile of the customer, and it will, we can take that within the software and project sales volume per location, per dealership, and it's really, it's as fine as this street or a street over might cost you 10 sales a month.
Oh wow!
It's a robust software that will tell you where to locate, where not to locate, how to build out a market, and so forth. So we have available territories. It's one of the things I didn't mention is most of our franchisees, when they leave Discovery Day, we're talking through a franchise agreement. They want to control their growth, so a lot of the time we'll do a development agreement as well, so that they can control their future growth and build out a market, without having to worry about another franchisee or a Byrider dealership coming in. So they might license 3, 4, 5 dealerships to open over time.
Oh, that's neat. So if you were in a city where there weren't any Byriders, you could say, okay, I'm going to start here, and my plan is to move this direction. Then they'd be able to secure that day one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll
really
protect it with you, and then we'll just discuss the timing to open dealerships 2, 3, 4, etc. Depending on your organizational growth goals it's real common. I think over my almost 12 years in development, the average franchise agreement came with at least a 3-store development agreement. People want to control their growth and so forth. So.
Do most of your franchisees have more than one store?
Yeah, if you the average franchisee has 3.
Oh,
right now, if you divide it out between our owners and our number of dealerships. So, we have them as high as 7, I believe. Right, we have a couple dealerships with 7 Byriders, and then we have them with one that have been with us 20 plus years with one dealership, and just have been very, very successful and have seen no need to expand. So
yeah.
That works as well.
Yep. Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
No, I think 2023 is we're looking forward to it. We have I think six plus dealerships opening by January 2nd.
So, oh my, you're going to be busy.
so we're going to be busy at the end of the year, which is good, and looking forward to future growth in 2023.
Do you go to their openings? Like, do you go to the stores when they open?
One of the pieces of our advertising group, we do PR as well. So we will support, and we'll have a team on hand for the grand openings. And when I can, I like to go as well.
Well, you're gonna be busy. I mean, that's like in the next that's like 6 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think I'm on the road a lot, and but that's what a cell phone is for, and I'm able to keep in touch with the individuals that reach out. You can expect a call back from me within 24 hours.
Oh.
To see if it might, start the conversation to see if it might be a good fit.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yep. Brian, I appreciate being here. Beautiful studio.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us for this AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. My guest today has been Jack Humbert from Byrider. This episode's Over the Curb and Burning Gas. Hope to see you again soon.